In the heart of the Great Plains, the Lakota people held a deep reverence for their prophets, wise individuals who could see beyond the ordinary and interpret the signs of nature. One such prophet emerged during a time of change and uncertainty for the Lakota. Known for his mystical visions, he was seen as a bridge between the spiritual world and his people. This prophet had a special connection with the cosmos, often interpreting celestial events as messages from the Great Spirit. Comets, in particular, captured his imagination. To the Lakota, they were not just fiery streaks across the night sky. They were powerful omens that heralded significant changes or events. The prophet believed that a comet's appearance could signal everything from shifts in seasons to warnings of trouble ahead. As he gazed at the heavens, he sensed a powerful vision, the tail of a comet drawing intricate patterns that beckoned him to share its meaning. One fateful night, under a blanket of stars, this visionary sketched what he saw onto buffalo hide. His artwork portrayed the comet's tail in bold strokes, symbolizing hope and direction for his people. The image carried weight as it became more than just art. It evolved into a guiding map filled with potential and possibilities. Little did he know that this drawing would catch the attention of outsiders, boomtown miners eager for fortune, setting off a chain of events that would intertwine their fates forever. As the summer of 1861 wore on, a brilliant comet made its appearance in the night sky, dazzling both the Lakota people and the miners who had recently poured into the region. With its long, shimmering tail stretching across the heavens, the comet became a spectacle that drew eyes from miles around. The stars twinkled like diamonds above, and the warm breeze carried whispers of excitement and wonder among the Lakota camps. For the Lakota, the sighting was more than just a celestial phenomenon. It was a powerful omen that stirred deep emotions. Elders gathered around campfires to interpret the meaning of this extraordinary event, believing it foretold significant changes ahead. They felt a mix of hope and caution, contemplating what this sign might mean for their future. Meanwhile, in the nearby mining towns, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. News of the comet spread quickly among the miners, who were always on the lookout for new opportunities. Many saw the comet's tail as a sign leading to hidden treasures buried in the earth, sparking a frenzy of excitement. Tales circulated that following its path could lead to silver veins waiting to be discovered. With dreams of wealth dancing in their minds, the miners prepared for adventure, ready to chase after what they believed was a promise of fortune. As they set out towards the horizon, little did they know that their quests would soon intertwine with the lives of the Lakota people in ways they could never anticipate. Under the glow of the comet's dazzling tail, the Lakota prophet felt a deep inspiration. That night, he gathered his materials and began to translate his celestial vision onto a piece of buffalo hide. With careful strokes, he sketched the comet's tail, allowing the flowing lines to mirror the brilliance of what he had seen above. Each curve and flicker represented not just the comet but also the hope and guidance he wished to impart to his people. For the Lakota, this image was powerful and meaningful. The buffalo hide was not merely a canvas. It symbolized life, sustenance, and connection to their land. By inscribing the tail of the comet onto this sacred material, the prophet conveyed a message from the Great Spirit. To him, it meant a time of renewal was coming, urging his people to prepare for challenges and embrace the changes ahead. Elders admired the drawing as they gathered around the fire, discussing its significance. They interpreted it as a map that directed them toward inner strength and resilience. The comet's tail became a symbol of transformation, suggesting that while change might bring uncertainty, it also held great promise for growth and new beginnings. Unbeknownst to the prophet, this vivid representation would grab the attention of miners hungry for riches. While the Lakota sought wisdom from their connection to the stars, the miners would interpret the comet's path in their pursuit of silver, setting off events that would forever reshape their intertwined destinies. As news of the comet spread quickly through the mining camps, excitement buzzed in the air like electricity. These boomtown miners, driven by dreams of wealth and adventure, were always on the lookout for signs that could lead them to silver. Many had come from distant places, drawn by promises of great riches waiting to be discovered in the West. With pickaxes slung over their shoulders and determination in their hearts, they labored tirelessly, hoping every day would reveal glimmers of fortune hidden beneath the earth. When they heard about the Lakota prophet's drawing of the comet's tail, miners brimming with ambition viewed it as a treasure map pointing toward unimaginable prosperity. They believed that following its path could lead them not only to silver veins but also to fame and success that would change their lives forever. The comet was seen as a beacon guiding them on their quest, a cosmic sign that fortune was near. Conversations around campfires transformed into plans mapped out by old hands and eager new arrivals alike. Each miner imagined striking it rich, claiming land and wealth that could elevate them from ordinary lives to legends remembered in history. Fueled by tales of others who had struck gold or silver, they became convinced that this glowing celestial event held secrets just waiting to be unveiled. As they set out into the wilderness, little did they realize how closely tied their fates were becoming with those of the Lakota people who perceived the comet in a much different light. The stage was set for an unfolding saga where hopes and dreams collided under a starlit sky. As the miners embarked on their journey, they felt a mix of excitement and determination. The comet, shining brightly above them, served as both a guide and a source of motivation. They trekked through rugged terrain, their spirits high as they imagined the wealth that awaited them. With each step, they shared stories of past discoveries and cheered each other on, believing they were destined for greatness. Yet, the path was fraught with challenges. The wilderness tested their endurance with steep hills and rocky outcrops. Days turned into weeks as they faced fatigue from long hours of searching for signs of silver. At times, hunger gnawed at their bellies, forcing them to rely on what little food they had or forage for whatever sustenance they could find. Despite these struggles, their hope never wavered. Every glimmer in the soil sparked visions of untold riches. During moments of rest by the campfire, laughter echoed in the night air as they recounted tales of other prospectors who had struck it rich. Each recounting fueled their dreams further. They believed that just beyond the next ridge lay vast silver deposits waiting to be unearthed. With resolve pushing them forward, the miners bravely navigated through unexpected storms and wildlife encounters. But in those quiet moments under the stars, when they saw the comet illuminating the sky, they felt an undeniable sense of purpose. An assurance that their adventure was not just about finding silver but also about forging a path that intertwined their fates with those of the Lakota people. As the miners ventured deeper into the lands traditionally held by the Lakota people, tensions began to simmer. The miners were primarily focused on their quest for silver, often disregarding the sacred connection the Lakota had with the land. To the Lakota, the earth was more than a resource. It was a living entity intricately tied to their culture, beliefs, and way of life. They viewed the influx of miners as an invasion that threatened their community and the spirits of their ancestors. Misunderstandings quickly arose between the two groups. The miners saw the land as ripe with opportunity, interpreting the presence of silver as a sign of prosperity. They believed it was their right to claim what they found, feeling justified by their pursuit of fortune. Meanwhile, the Lakota understood that their relationship with the land came with responsibility and respect, a view that clashed sharply with the miners' more exploitative approach. Conflicts erupted over territory disputes and resource use, leading to heated arguments and confrontations. The miners, eager to stake their claims, often trespassed onto sacred sites, causing distress among the Lakota. Elders tried to communicate with the miners, expressing their need to protect their heritage and the land they revered. Unfortunately, these attempts were frequently met with dismissal or misunderstanding. As both groups continued on their paths, it became clear that they were not just searching for wealth or spiritual guidance. They were caught in a cultural clash that would shape the course of their futures in profound ways. The comet that once symbolized hope now hung above a land fraught with conflict and uncertainty. As the miners pressed deeper into the heart of the wilderness, their days were filled with a mixture of camaraderie, anticipation, and often disappointment. Each morning brought renewed hope as they studied maps and debated the best paths to follow. They traveled in groups, sharing provisions and stories around crackling campfires each night, their laughter echoing through the valleys. The bonds they formed transformed strangers into brothers, united by a shared dream of striking it rich. Throughout their journey, they encountered breathtaking landscapes filled with lush forests, sparkling streams, and awe-inspiring mountain ranges. Each new discovery ignited their spirits anew, whether it was a shimmering waterfall or a hidden valley that felt untouched by time. Yet, the quest for silver was not without its setbacks. There were days when heavy rains turned their trails into muddy obstacles, and nights when cold winds swept through their camps, testing their resolve. At times, hope would flicker just out of reach. Some miners faced hardships, like equipment breakage or illness that forced them to turn back. Others fell victim to disillusionment when promised lands yielded only rocks and dust instead of precious metal. But amidst these challenges, stories of nearby discoveries spread through the camps, reigniting their determination to trudge on. With each setback, they developed resilience and a deeper appreciation for their mission. Even in their hardest moments, under the comet's watchful brilliance in the sky, they were driven by the belief that fortune was waiting just over the next rise, a promise that kept them moving forward despite uncertainty and danger. After weeks of chasing the comet's tail, the miners finally arrived at a secluded valley that seemed untouched by time. The shimmering landscape, illuminated by the comet above, sparked their hopes anew. With eager hands, they began to dig and probe the earth for signs of silver, convinced that fortune was just beneath the surface. However, after days of labor with no silver in sight, doubt began to creep into their hearts. The miners faced numerous challenges. Some grew weary from the relentless digging and harsh elements, while others battled sickness that forced them to rest. Tensions grew among them as fatigue replaced camaraderie. Frustration turned into arguments about their direction and strategy, as each sunrise revealed more empty holes than treasure. Just when hope seemed lost, a miner found a glimmer, a small nugget of silver embedded in a rock. Excitement surged through the camp as they gathered around him, inspired by this tiny beacon of success. Encouraged by this discovery, they worked diligently, expanding their search across the valley. However, to their dismay, what appeared to be silver soon turned out to be iron pyrite, fool's gold. With spirits dampened but not completely defeated, the miners realized that they had gained something else during their journey: newfound respect for the land and a stronger bond with one another. They decided to return home with tales of adventure rather than riches. As they retraced their steps beneath the brilliant tail of the comet, they understood that not all treasures were measured in silver. Some were forged through friendship and resilience amid hardships. The tale of the Lakota prophet and the miners has become a poignant story in American history, reflecting the complexities of cultural exchange and conflict. Both groups remain deeply impacted by their encounter, and their experiences serve as a reminder of the profound connections people can form with both the land and each other. This narrative highlights how different perspectives on nature and resources can lead to misunderstandings, yet it also emphasizes the resilience found in human relationships. In Native American culture, this story underscores the importance of interpreting natural signs and staying connected to the rhythms of the earth. The prophet's vision and his drawing on buffalo hide symbolize a deep spiritual connection that resonates with many indigenous peoples today, reminding them of their ongoing relationship with both land and sky. For miners, their adventures encapsulate the spirit of the American West, an era defined by hope, ambition, and sometimes folly. Their disillusionment with mineral wealth prompted reflections on what constitutes true success. This journey fueled tales that would be shared for generations, creating a legacy of exploration and discovery interlaced with lessons learned through hardship. Modern interpretations of this story continue to remind us of the impacts of colonization and resource exploitation on native cultures. It sparks conversations about honoring indigenous rights when dealing with land issues today. As society looks back at these historical interactions, we see how they shape our understanding of identity, belonging, and respect for all cultures woven into the fabric of American history. The comet's legacy shines bright, a symbol of vision and possibility that echoes across time. The story of the Lakota prophet and the miners embodies key themes of hope, adventure, and the quest for understanding across cultures. At its heart, this narrative illustrates how a seemingly simple event, like the appearance of a comet, can ignite dreams and ambitions that lead to profound encounters between different groups. The contrasting interpretations of the comet, one seen as a guiding force for treasure and the other as a spiritual omen, highlight the rich diversity of perspectives that exist in the world. Through their adventures, both miners and Lakota faced challenges that tested their resolve and resilience. These struggles served not only as obstacles but also as opportunities for growth, as they learned to navigate their differences amid an ever-changing landscape. The eventual realization by the miners that personal connections and mutual respect surpassed the pursuit of material wealth encapsulates the essence of human experience. Moreover, this tale underscores the importance of empathy and understanding in mitigating cultural clashes. As both groups reflect on their shared history, they embody an ongoing journey toward reconciliation and respect for one another's beliefs and values. This legacy reverberates through time, reminding contemporary society of its obligation to honor indigenous rights and recognize the interwoven narratives that shape our collective identity. Ultimately, the legacy of the comet stands not just as a testament to dreams and ambitions unfulfilled, but also as an enduring symbol of the potential for unity and respect between cultures, a beacon guiding future generations toward a harmonious coexistence.